Wow. Just sometimes the things that we as drivers have to deal with, it's really hard. My name is Levi. This is the Tip You in the App Daily Drive. Today's daily drive is brought to you by Tonquin. You're going to deliver car parts instead of people, and that means you don't have to put up with criers. The daily drive is also brought to you by Rideshare.tax. Start preparing for 2025 today. Don't let it get behind. Contact the team at Rideshare.tax today. And the daily drive is brought to you by VOOM Rideshare Insurance. Quick shout out to all 1,879 subscribers. The number is growing every day. Thank you so much. Please join Thrive, engage with our community, and let me know what kind of content I can create to help you thrive as a driver. To the young woman that was crying in my car, I think you as a driver, me, if you drive really late at night, you just see it all, right? We've been there. And alcohol, drugs, emotions, youth, there's so many things going on that it gets the best of us. And it's hard for you and me as a driver to handle these situations. There's a part of me that wants to pull over and be kind and say, hey, what can I do to help you? Then there's a part of me that's, I don't know her and she doesn't know me, and I have no business getting involved. And if I saw her on the street and I wasn't being a driver and she was just sobbing uncontrollably like that, would I try to help her? Maybe. It's just hard. And I have some advice, some thoughts to help you and me navigate these situations. And I'd love to hear your thoughts too. Number one is that it's very temporary. Even the craziest of moments in our cars, it's really temporary. That's why I like short trips, by the way. I love 5-minute trips because if it does get crazy, it ends quickly. 1 hour of dealing with her crying. I had one time, I picked up these women from a hotel in Syracuse and I took them down to Binghamton, which is like an hour and 10, 15 minutes or something like that. And the whole time, the woman was on her phone yelling at her dad, who was going to put her dog down for biting him. And the baby was crying. She had a baby with her in the car and she was crying too. And it was really intense. And I'm just trying to drive and focus. And I asked a couple of times for them to keep it down, but it was a really passionate moment in her life and her energy was up and it was hard. So number one is that yes, these situations, these moments, even if it's an hour long, it's temporary. And so number two, since it is temporary, do your best to get through it. Think about yourself and think about what can you do to mentally not get emotionally involved, because you don't know these passengers. I don't know my passengers. And as much as I feel bad for them sometimes or am angry with them or whatever it might be, what are the ways I can basically control my own emotions in those situations? So as my stress level's rising, because it is hard to drive with somebody wailing and gnashing of teeth in the backseat of your car, I'm thinking to myself, are they damaging the car? What's going on back there? So I try to emotionally just control my own emotions and not try to get too involved emotionally. But the third thing that we can all do is clearly communicate. Take control of the situation. Now, in the video that I showed with the girl crying, it was a really short trip. She had a passenger that was there comforting her. I felt like she was handling it. So I just shut up and I just drove. I just got them to their destination. But there have been times when young kids get in my car and they cry and they're alone. And I try to just listen and acknowledge their pain and suffering, have empathy and compassion. It's typically around a boy breaking up and blah, blah, blah. And it's all things that you and I have probably been through when we were younger and in college or whatever. And so it's real. Their emotions are real, but it's just temporary. I just got to get them to and from a destination. So when they're upset, I ask them, why are you upset? And I let them talk. And I acknowledge, no matter what their upsetness is, I try to acknowledge it. And I say, yeah, that sounds really hard. Because it is hard. I don't have to have an experience similar to theirs to know that it's hard. And instead of trying to solve their problem, I try to just listen, because I can't solve their problem. I'm just an Uber driver. I don't know them. They don't know me. But sometimes we as humans just need a chance to vent. And our cars at that time of night tend to become a sanctuary, a place where people can just vent. And maybe I put up with it too much. I don't know. Do you? I know there are drivers that might turn around and be like, hey, keep it down or I'm going to kick you out. I don't know. I couldn't do it that way. But I think if I can just understand that it's temporary, control my own emotions, and when the passenger is emotionally upset like that, just give them a chance to cry. Just give them a chance to release some of that stress. Make sure that the ride's going to happen safely, right? Etc. But just let them have it. Because sometimes we all need that space. And I don't have any tips or tricks on how to solve their problems because I don't know how to do it. And I don't try to give them answers. I just listen. How do you solve these situations? You've dealt with it many times, right? What do you do when a passenger gets upset like that? I don't know. It's hard. It's hard. And I wish people on the outside, the people who are not drivers, understood sometimes what you and I have to deal with. Thank you so much for being a part of this community. I really appreciate it. I want to produce content that educates and inspires and entertains and enlightens us. I want you to thrive as a driver. So please engage in the community, like, subscribe, join the Facebook group, become a member of Thrive. I'm cheering for you. Be well, be safe. Bye.